Listen to me. If you want to change your life, stop waiting for someone to come and fix it. Because no one's coming. Not your parents, not your friends, not the world. It's you. You are the answer you've been waiting for. Let's talk about what that really means. You stand in front of the mirror a day, but do you really see yourself? Or do you just glance, adjust your hair and move on, avoiding the one person who holds the truth about your life? Most people spend their entire existence running from their reflection, terrified of what it might say. But here's the truth. Your reflection doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter you, it doesn't protect your ego, it reveals. Every scar, every hesitation, every unfinished dream is right there, staring back. And until you learn to face that version of you with absolute honesty, nothing will ever change. You can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, chase every external source of motivation. But if you can't stand still and face your own you're building castles on sand. You've got to stop decorating your excuses and calling them reasons. Every time you say, "That's just how I am," you chain yourself to the very thing holding you back. You say, "I'm not good with people," so you stop networking. You say, "I'm not disciplined," so you stop trying. You say, "I've always been unlucky," so you stop believing. You've made peace with mediocrity because it feels safe. But safe has never changed a life. Safe has never built a legacy. What if instead of defending your limits, you started questioning them? What if you stopped identifying with your pain and started identifying with your potential? You've spent too long explaining your patterns. Now it's time to break them. Your reflection is not a punishment, it's an invitation. It's saying, look closer. It's saying, you know you can do better. And deep down, you do. You know there's a version of you that wakes up early, that speaks with confidence, that live with purpose instead of fear. You've glimpsed that version before, in moments of bravery, in moments when you refused to settle. But then you talked yourself out of it, convinced yourself it wasn't the right time. Let me tell you something, the right time never comes. You create it by acting when you're not ready. That reflection is not asking you to be perfect, it's asking you to be real. To drop the filters, the justifications, the act, and see yourself as you are, not as you pretend to be. You have to understand that awareness is the first step to freedom. You can't heal what you won't name. You can't fix what you keep denying. Every single person you admire started with that moment of radical self-awareness. The instant they said, "I can't live like this anymore." That sentence changes lives. Because the moment you say it, you stop pointing fingers outward. You stop blaming your past, your parents, your circumstances, your trauma. You start realizing that the only person left to hold accountable is the one in the mirror. And accountability is not guilt, it's power. It means you finally understand that if you created your current situation, you also have the power to recreate it. There's something extraordinary that happens when you stop running from your reflection. You start recognizing your strength. You see that every dark season didn't break you, it built you. Every time you thought you couldn't handle more, and yet you did, that's resilience carved into your face. Those lines, those eyes that stare, it all tells a story. Not of defeat, but of survival. But surviving isn't the end goal, thriving is. You've proven you can endure. Now it's time to evolve. And evolution doesn't start with the world treating you differently, it starts with you treating yourself differently. It starts when you stop seeing your reflection as the evidence of your flaws and start seeing it as the blueprint of your rebirth. So the next time you stand in front of that mirror, don't look away. Don't rush. Don't hide behind makeup, muscles, clothes, or attitude. Look. Really look. Ask yourself, who am I when no one's watching? What do I stand for? What am I running from? And then, instead of covering the answers with excuses, listen to them. The reflection is not judging you, it's reminding you. It's reminding you that the power you're searching for is not out there. It's right there, staring back. You are not broken, you are unfinished. And the only way to finish the masterpiece is to pick up the brush yourself. Because the truth is this, when you finally face your reflection without fear, you stop being your own obstacle and start becoming your own revolution. The day you stop hiding from yourself is the day your life begins to change forever. That's not magic, that's ownership, that's transformation. And it starts the moment you decide to face the mirror and never look away again. You already know what you're capable of. You felt it. That electric hum inside your chest every time you imagine a bigger life. More purpose, more power, more peace. But somewhere between dreaming and doing, you start negotiating. You start shrinking. You tell yourself, maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe it's not my time. Maybe people like me don't get to live like that. And just like that, you trade your power for comfort. You trade your fire for approval. You start walking like you're apologizing for existing. But let's call it what it is, not humility, not modesty. It's fear. Fear dressed up as logic. Fear disguised as patience. Fear pretending to be practicality. And until you stop negotiating with that fear, it will keep talking you out of everything you deserve. Every single time you doubt yourself, remember this. Your potential doesn't argue. It just waits. It waits for you to stop making excuses, to stop lowering your standards, to stop letting your insecurities sit in the driver's seat. Potential isn't something it's something you decide to honor. You've got dreams that are begging to be built, but you keep waiting for perfect timing, perfect conditions, perfect confidence. Let me tell you something. Perfection is procrastination wearing a mask. The people who change the world aren't the ones who waited until they felt ready. They're the ones who acted while they were terrified. They moved anyway. They spoke anyway. They created anyway. The question isn't whether you're capable. It's whether you're done pretending you may not. You have been conditioned to believe that confidence is arrogance, that wanting more is selfish, that ambition is a threat. So you learn to dim your light so no one else feels uncomfortable. You learn to downplay your wins so no one calls you too much. But let me ask you, why are you protecting other people's insecurities at the cost of your own potential? Why do you keep apologizing for wanting to grow? There's nothing humble about pretending to be less than. You are. True humility isn't about shrinking. It's about acknowledging that your gifts are bigger than your fears. It's about realizing that playing small serves no one. You don't inspire anyone by hiding your power. You inspire by using it fully, unapologetically, and relentlessly. It's time to raise your standards for yourself. Stop saying yes to things that drain you. Stop settling for half-hearted effort. Stop spending your energy proving your worth to people who can't even see their own. You can't build an extraordinary life while maintaining average habits. You can't create change while clinging to comfort. You can't claim strength while choosing weakness every time discipline calls your name. Every "I'll do it later" becomes another brick in the wall between you and your greatness. You've got to want it more than you want your excuses. Because talent will open the door, but discipline keeps you in the room. Commitment builds the foundation for everything else. Here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. You are not tired, you're unfulfilled. You're not lost, you're underutilized. You're not unlucky, you're uncommitted. Life is not withholding from you, you're withholding from life. You've convinced yourself that you're waiting for a sign, but the sign was the dream itself. That vision in your mind, that fire in your gut, that eyes, the signal, that is your potential calling you out. The universe doesn't move until you do. You keep praying for open doors, but the key has been in your hand the entire time. It's not the world that's been holding you back, it's your own hesitation. And hesitation is expensive. It costs you time, opportunities, and the life you are meant to live. So make a decision today, not a wish, not a plan, a decision. Decide that you are done negotiating with your potential, done dimming your brilliance to make others comfortable, done waiting for validation before you act. You don't need more clarity, you need more courage. You don't need more motivation, you need more motion. The power you seek isn't out there, it's in the daily choices you make when no one's watching. Every time you show up with intention, every time you push a little harder, every time you silence the voice that says, "Not yet," you get closer to who you were meant to become. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break the pattern, to disrupt the cycle, to set a new standard for what's possible. Because the moment you stop negotiating with your potential, you stop living half a life. You start walking with power. You start speaking with certainty. You start moving like you know who you are, and the world starts responding to that energy. The only permission you ever needed was your own. And once you give it, everything changes. Stop chasing motivation. Stop waiting for that spark, that rush, that perfect wave of energy that will suddenly make everything easy. Because motivation is fragile. It disappears the moment life gets uncomfortable. It's there when the music is loud, the quotes are fresh, the crowd is cheering. But when it's 5 a.m. and your alarm goes off, when no one's watching, when the world feels heavy, that's when motivation leaves you. And that's where discipline begins. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's not loud, it's not fueled by applause or validation. Discipline is silent, steady, and consistent. It's the promise you keep to yourself long after the feeling has faded. It's the difference between people who dream and people who do. Discipline is not punishment, it's power. It's the most profound act of self-respect you can ever practice. Every time you choose to show up when it's hard, you're saying, "I'm worth the effort." You're proving to yourself that you're capable of showing up for your future, not just your comfort. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. It means you fall and you get up again. You fail and you try differently. You get tired and you rest, but you don't quit. Because quitting becomes a habit just like consistency does. You're training yourself either way. The question is, which habit are you feeding more? Discipline or defeat? Every time you do the hard thing, you're carving resilience into your identity. And one day you wake up and realize you've become unstoppable. People think discipline restricts freedom, but it's the opposite. Discipline creates freedom. The freedom to live without regret. The freedom to move with confidence. The freedom to know that your word means something to yourself and to others. When you live without discipline, you live at the mercy of your emotions. You're controlled by moods, distractions, impulses. But when you build discipline, you take control back. You decide how your day goes. You decide how your story unfolds. And when you finally stop letting your emotions dictate your effort, you become dangerous in the best way. Because now you're unshakable. You're no longer depending on the world to pass. You've forward. You've built the engine within. Understand this. Discipline is an act of love, not deprivation. You go to the gym not because you hate your body, but because you respect it. You work on your craft not because you're behind, but because you care enough to become exceptional. You save money not because you fear poverty, but because you honor your future. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's loving yourself enough to say, "I deserve better than temporary comfort." Every time you choose discipline, you're rewriting the story of your worth. You're telling the universe, "I'm serious." And the universe always responds to seriousness. Life rewards those who act, not those who merely intend. You have to understand, discipline will test you. It will break you down before it builds you up. You'll have days when you question everything. You'll have moments when you want to give up, when the path feels endless, when no progress seems visible. But those are the sacred moments, the moments that separate the committed from the curious. Anyone can be disciplined when it's easy. But true strength shows up when it's inconvenient, when it's painful, when it's lonely. That's where character is born. That's where the transformation happens, not in the reward, but in the resistance. Because resistance reveals what's real. And once you've walked through that fire, Once you've kept going when every part of you wanted to stop, you'll never see yourself the same again. And when that shift happens, everything changes. You no longer wait for the right mood. You create it. You don't chase validation, you embody it. You don't talk about goals, you live them. People will ask, how did you do it? Expecting some secret formula, some burst of luck. But the truth will be simple. You showed up, over and over, without applause, without shortcuts, without permission. That's the secret most people aren't willing to accept. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. It's not sexy, it's not easy, but it's sacred. And it's the only thing standing between you and your next level. Because discipline isn't just a habit, it's your declaration. It's the moment you stop breaking promises to yourself. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you'll do what you said you would. Motivation will fade, circumstances will shift, but discipline will always keep you anchored to your power. You don't rise by feeling ready, you rise by being relentless. And when you choose discipline, you don't just build success, you build yourself. When you begin to grow, people will start to notice. They'll look at you differently, talk about you differently, treat you differently, and not always in the way you hope. Some will cheer for you, but others will question you. Some will whisper that you've changed as if change is betrayal. But the truth is, growth will always make the ones who stayed stagnant uncomfortable. The same person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even a week ago. And that's how it's supposed to be. You fought too hard to stay the same. You've shed layers, beliefs, patterns that no longer fit. So when people accuse you of changing, take it as confirmation that you're evolving. You were never meant to live small just so others could stay comfortable. Growth demands distance, and sometimes that distance is the price of peace. You have to stop craving understanding from those who haven't walked your path. Not everyone will get your vision. Not everyone is supposed to. Some people can't see your future because they're too attached to your past. They'll remember the version of you that tolerated disrespect, that doubted your worth, that said yes to things that didn't serve you. And when you stop being that version, they panic. They try to pull you back, not because they hate you, but because your growth exposes their stagnation. Your evolution forces them to confront their own lack of movement. Don't let their discomfort distract you. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. You weren't born to be explained. You were born to be experienced. Validation is addictive because it feels like safety. We all want to be seen, to be appreciated, to be told we're doing well. But the moment you depend on that validation, you hand your power over. Every compliment becomes a leash. Every opinion becomes a verdict. You start editing yourself just to earn approval, shaping your identity around what pleases others. But here's the truth. Authenticity and approval rarely coexist. The more real you become, the fewer people will get you, and that's okay. Your job is not to be liked, your job is to be aligned. Validation is temporary, alignment is eternal. When you stand in truth, when your actions match your purpose, when your peace comes from within, no one can take that from you. You'll have to learn how to walk alone sometimes, and that's not a punishment, it's preparation. The world will tell you that independence means loneliness, but it's the opposite. The moment you detach from needing external approval, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting for someone to clap for you, and you start building your own rhythm. You stop performing, and you start living. And something beautiful happens. You begin to attract people who match your frequency, not your fears. The right ones won't need explanations. They'll recognize your energy, respect your boundaries, and celebrate your growth without feeling threatened by it. Detachment doesn't mean isolation, it means discernment. It's the ability to walk away without resentment, to love without losing yourself, to care without collapsing. And let's be honest, detaching from validation isn't easy. It hurts when people you love don't understand your path. It stings when your success is met with silence or your confidence is called arrogance. But you can't let that pain turn you bitter. Let it turn you wiser. Let it tell you that your worth is not up for negotiation. You've got to build a relationship with yourself so strong that no rejection can shake it. Because once you know who you are, people's opinions become background noise. They can't touch your spirit when you're anchored in truth. You don't need everyone to like you. You just need to like yourself enough to keep moving forward even when no one claps. So stop shrinking. Stop waiting for permission to take up space. Stop apologizing for growing faster than the people around you. You owe no one an explanation for your evolution. Let them think what they want, say what they will, believe what they choose. That's not your business. Your business is your growth, your peace, your purpose. The world doesn't need another person trying to fit in. It needs someone brave enough to stand out, detach from the noise and return to your truth. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to fulfill the calling that was placed within you. And not everyone will hear that call. It was meant for you. Because when you detach from validation, you take your power back. You stop living in reaction and start living in intention. You stop bending to be accepted and start rising to be authentic. They don't have to understand you. They don't have to like you. They don't even have to believe in you. Because you're not here for their applause. You're here for your purpose. And when you walk in that truth, the world won't be able to ignore your light. Pain is a language life uses to get your attention. It's not random, it's not meaningless, and it's definitely not a punishment. Every moment of heartbreak, failure, rejection, or loss carries a message. And if you listen closely, that message is always growth. You see, pain doesn't just show up to break you. It shows up to wake you. It shakes you out of the illusion that comfort equals happiness. It strips away the fake layers, the temporary attachments, the illusions you built to survive. And when the noise fades, when the world stops spinning, what's left is the truth, your raw, unfiltered, unbreakable self. You may hate the storm while you're in it, but one day you'll look back and realize that the storm was the thing that built your strength. Every person carries scars, some visible, some buried deep. And those scars tell the story of survival. But surviving isn't the end goal, it's just the beginning. Too many people live their lives proud that they survived, but terrified to truly live again. They build walls around their wounds and call it healing. But healing isn't about pretending the pain never existed. Healing is about learning to live because it did. It's looking at your scars and saying, this hurt me, but it also taught me who I am. You can't transform what you refuse to face. The pain you keep avoiding is the very key to the power you've been searching for. Every time life breaks you, it hands you the materials to rebuild stronger. But only if why? Stop resisting the lesson. Your pain is not proof of your weakness. It's evidence of your humanity. It's the fire that refines you, not the fire that destroys you. Diamonds don't form in comfort, they form under pressure. Gold doesn't shine until it's been through fire. And you don't find your strength until you've walked through the darkness. But that's where most people stop. They sit in their pain, replaying it, identifying with it, letting it define them. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become despite what happened. Pain is not a place to stay. It's a bridge to cross. It's not the end of your story, it's the turning point. And when you decide to walk through it instead of running from it, you realize something extraordinary. The pain didn't break you. It introduced a new to yourself. Transformation begins when you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what now? Because pain demands a response. You can let it harden you or let it fuel you. You can let it make you bitter or let it make you wise. You can use it to justify your limitations or to amplify your potential. The choice is always yours. The most powerful people you'll ever meet are the ones who turned their pain into purpose. They stopped waiting for closure and started creating meaning. They stopped trying to erase the past and started using it as fuel. Your pain can become your platform, your proof, your power, but only when you decide it will no longer control you. You have to own it before it owns you. You have to look it in the eye and say, you don't define me, I define you. You can't outrun pain, you can only outgrow it. It follows you until you face it, until you learn the lesson it came to teach. That's why cycles repeat. That's why heartbreaks feel familiar, why failure echoes the same patterns,